Well, what do we have here? Some more drama with the Federal Reserve. And what does that mean? Drama with the Federal Reserve means that it will impact crypto and stock market prices, traditional finance, because everything is essentially all flushed in together now. And with this type of volatility, we can potentially see number go down. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? We're going to talk about that today. We also have got an XRP rumor. We've got some Hedera news. We've got some really big news coming out of crypto.com, Kraken news, etc. So stay tuned and we're going to cover everything. First and foremost, make sure you guys are subscribed. Set alerts so you don't miss anything. Smash a like and share this and drop a comment because this pushes this out. And we want to get people as much information as possible so that you guys can continue to do your due diligence and make good decisions for yourself. Good morning to TikTok babes, to Rumble babes, to Twitch babes, and of course, my amazing YouTube babes, Mr. Dale, Mr. John, Mr. D, Mr. R, Gorgeous Alexandra, XP Market, Mr. Lawrence, and that's it for now. But let's go ahead and get into it. Well, before we get into it, so I've got a good friend of mine. Oh, shout out to XP Market. They've been a member for 8 months. Level up, babies. But I have got a plumber in my house, a good family friend, because the pipe in the front, it's spewing water out. Got a little teeny tiny hole in it. But that's okay. That's what we do. We're all going to be all good. But let's go ahead and get through this. And see what's going on. Because there's going to be a lot of market volatility. There's also Ethereum. The Ethereum bottom is allegedly in. So we're going to talk about all of that. I'm not going to be getting the Gemini card. I'm not allowed to use their platform anymore. So I will not be getting the Gemini card. I'm also very particular about... super particular about credit cards I use. I was brought up in a really weird household to where you don't have credit cards, you don't take debt out, those types of things. And I understand that's a very, very old mindset. So it's a little bit hard for me. But now I have credit cards and I use credit cards for different things. I think it's like if you're somebody that is a big XRP fan, this credit card is something you should definitely check out. That's just my personal. No, Tube Top Tuesday. I forgot. This is from I forget where it is. I actually got this on sale with 70% off. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the news, okay? I'm going to do Tube Top Tuesday on Wednesday. But yeah, no, credit cards are not a bad thing, just as long as you know how to use them in your interest. And if you're somebody who's an XRP fan or somebody who loves investing in XRP, just somebody in general that wants to accumulate more XRP, that might be a good opportunity for you. It might make sense. For me, I got XRP, so I'm good. But I like to get my rewards with my Costco card. But anyways, shout out to Alpha Junkies. My nose is a bit itchy, but let's go ahead and get on what's going on with the news because it's a lot. It is a lot. Also, too, allegedly from Mr. Bitcoin Archie, 18 billion Bitcoin shorts to be liquidated at 125,000. So a lot of people are betting against the market and they're betting that number is going to go down. And that's primarily because of what Trump did. This news broke yesterday. Lisa Cook was a voting member on the FOMC. President Donald J. Trump relieves Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook of her positions. And with this order right here, you are not allowed, a president, no one can fire anyone from the Federal Reserve. They can't. However, if there's fraud or they broke the law, then they can. So yesterday, Trump announced he's firing Fed Governor Lisa Cook over alleged mortgage fraud claims. Trump alleges Cook falsified primary residence details on mortgage applications, citing a criminal referral. I'm going to talk about this in a second, so stay tuned. Hey, Mr. John Germain, and of course, hello, Mr. Gamer. Cook voted with Powell and most Fed members to keep interest rates steady in July. Cook, appointed by Biden in 2020, denies wrongdoings and says she will not resign. She is actually going to file a lawsuit against President Trump for this, which, she feels she didn't do anything wrong. That's fine. She should go ahead and do it. So I think really what's happening over here, because she doesn't want to resign. She's going to file a lawsuit and she doesn't want to resign. So let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit. Let's kind of break this down because obviously news like this does impact the market in a negative aspect. We don't want to see this stuff because the way that the markets are looking right now, everything is pretty much down except crypto.com, which we have some positive news about crypto.com as to why they're doing well. So we'll get into that in a little bit. Stick around, and big shout out to the Crow community. You guys are amazing. Awesome. But as far as Bitcoin goes, Bitcoin's not doing so great. We actually broke down below $111,000. We're trading about $110,000. And then from there, we've got 107, 104, 102. But a lot of people are thinking that we're going to break back down below $100,000 Bitcoin. And that might actually happen. But I want to really kind of talk about what's going on at the Federal Reserve, okay? And yeah, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Dutch News says, of course, that Fed lady did nothing wrong. Our news lies so much. And you know what? And shout out to Lawrence. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yeah, so this is from, the top is from Aritzia. And the pants are from the thrift store. They're Gap. I think I paid $5 for them or something, but they're cute. They've got, they're like little wide leg ones and they fit really good. So thank you so much, Lawrence. I appreciate it. I'm going to get me something at, maybe I'll get Taco Bell today. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about what's happening to the Fed. So public servants should be held to higher standards because they are public servants, okay? Did she commit mortgage fraud? I don't know. I haven't gone through the documents. Do people commit mortgage fraud all the time? Yes, they do. People always falsify documents, especially in the United States of America with different things. However, when we're talking about public servants, they need to do everything by the law. And I really think what's happened is we've just got so used to public servants committing fraud and lying and doing all these terrible things to where we just keep going. And a good example of that is Gavin Newsom. Okay. But people are not always accurate, especially on mortgage applications. I don't think that that's that big of a deal if it was a regular citizen. And this is just my take. Okay. I think if it was a regular citizen, sometimes we got to do what we got to do to get stuff approved. I'm not saying it's right, but there's a lot of falsified documents, especially when it comes to mortgages and whatnot. Okay. That's another reason why we had the housing crash of 2008. As a public servant, she should be held to higher standards because there's enough fraud that goes off in the public sector. However, Trump can use the law in America to remove her from her position if, in fact, she did do any wrongdoing, especially since he wants interest rates to be lowered. And my personal opinion, I do get a lot of slack for this. I do think that interest rates should be lowered. I really, really do. Because really, when you look at it, there's a bunch of people that get to decide your financial future and your children's financial future based off of these interest rates. Okay, and that causes high inflation. And again, inflation you can modify inflation. Okay, but you can't. Once cost of goods and services go up, it doesn't go back down. So that's a problem we're seeing. That's why it's so expensive to get into homes. Credit card debt is out of control because interest rates, student loans, all these things. And a lot of people give me slack. They're like, hey, Wendy, long-term, this is bad. Guess what? I don't really care about long-term at this point because long-term, we are screwed regardless. We are absolutely screwed regardless. We are cooked regardless. Our kids are cooked regardless. Really, that's my chirpy chirp, my flip phone. Really, the only way to get to do something for our kids, and this is what I've been doing, pay properties off, put them in their name, set aside Bitcoin for your kids. I don't know what else to do for my daughter. I don't know what else to do for my daughter at this point because cash isn't going to hold its value. I can hope Bitcoin will, but owning property outright, at least in my opinion, is probably the best thing you could do for your kids so that they have a place to live because who knows what inflation is going to be. So a lot of people give me slack about it. They're like, well, Wendy, long-term, this is bad. Guess what? I don't care. We have had enough of these public servants that have been manipulating our lives financially for years, for decades, and it's not okay. The people can't breathe. The fact that the job market is so bad, the fact that most people cannot afford basic necessities, food, shelter, energy, that's problematic. Absolutely problematic. So what do? We need to essentially provide a way for people to live, to breathe. Because it's just not fair to the kids. It's not fair to the future generations because they're gonna be screwed anyway. So what are my thoughts on this? Is he doing what he's got to do to lower interest rates? Yeah. Is it really that big of a deal? She might have, really kind of depending on what was what information was incorrect, the fraud that she did. It kind of does depend. But at the end of the day, realistically, we need to get these interest rates down. And public servants should be held at higher standards just because they've been taking advantage of the U.S. people for so long. And it's really not okay. Yeah, Timothy, quit printing money. That is an easier way to control inflation. That too. But it's not going to. They're not going to stop printing money. They love that money printer. They love it. Okay? So they're going to keep printing money. So again, my personal opinion is I want interest rates to be lowered because I want to be able to accumulate more property so that I can put it in my daughter's name and so that she's got a fighting chance. I don't know what else to do. What else to do? And obviously have Bitcoin for her. That's why I'm not going to be selling any of my Bitcoin because you could use Bitcoin for collateral on all kinds of stuff. That's just my opinion. I could be 100% wrong, but moral of the story is this is going to cause a lot of market volatility when we're talking about the stock market and the crypto markets. And again, this is why I really, really do think like people will look at me and they're like, oh, well, crypto is a scam. You can manipulate it. What do you think they've been doing with traditional finance? What about these stocks? What about bonds? What about traditional financial markets? What about the hedge funds? What about the accredited investor law? What about all of this? These people literally get to do what they want to do with your money, with your taxpayer dollars. And then when it comes down to it, oh, that's my issue. Axemen 19.2 said she claimed primary residence at 2 homes 14 days apart to get a better rate on loans. Yeah, that's not okay. You're a public servant. You can't be doing that stuff, okay? Anyways, let's get back into what's happening with the crypto markets because we don't know what's happening. Is this going to cause a dump? Is it going to cause a pump? I'm going to tell you right now. The crypto markets, if interest rates are lowered, it's going to pump stocks and it's going to pump crypto. If interest rates remain stagnant and kept the same, or if interest rates remain stagnant, we're going to do this little bit at a time. Yeah, no term limits is a scam. Also, too, I read that she's supposed to be in office, I think, until 2032 or something like that. I think somebody fact checked me on that, but that's a long time to be in office. It should be like every 4 years you should get reevaluated. Okay, it's 4 years, something like that, because literally the same exact people are they stay in office forever. They become geriatric, and it just becomes mess. It becomes a ghetto mess. Yeah, I'm gonna blame everybody that's lied. I am. Let's keep it consistent. But I do. I want the interest rates lowered. I do. I really do. Because at the end of the day, if interest rates are lowered, you can actually afford basic necessities like food, shelter, clothing, those types of things. Yeah, they got wonderful job security. But anyways, at the end of the day, if interest rates drop, crypto and stock market pumps. If interest rates remain the same, crypto and stock markets, they'll do a little upward action. If interest rates are raised, it's going to dump everything. That's what we've seen in the past. And we need these interest rates to be lowered. And again, anybody that's saying the stock market is manipulated, crypto is manipulated, yeah, we know. The stock market is manipulated. We know the crypto market is manipulated. They learn from the stock market people. They learn from traditional finance. Is traditional finance safer? No. The cool thing about traditional finance is the cool thing about crypto, there's no barriers to entry. Traditional finance, there is. Why is there barriers to entry? The accredited investor law. You have to make a certain amount of money to get access to invest in hedge funds and IPOs and all these different things. Crypto removes that. And that's why we like crypto. So say crypto market is manipulated all you want. That's true to an extent. But really do your due diligence to the Federal Reserve and the stock market. So what's going to happen with crypto? We have no idea. And you know what? If they're manipulating the crypto markets, good. That means people can buy Bitcoin at a lower price because it will go to $1 million one day. It absolutely will. MicroStrategy, the United States government, El Salvador, all these treasury companies, some of the top performing publicly traded companies in the world. You think they're really going to let this stuff go to zero? They're not. Will there be implosions with some of the treasury companies? Yes. But at the end of the day, you want to make money when the good, you got to get it when the getting is good. I think it was Sugar Free that said it. Could be getting it. Was it Sugar Free or was some other G-Funk song? I love Sugar Free. I can't remember. But anyways, you want to make as much money as ethically and legally as possible and grift within the constraints of the law, just like the public servants do and just like the hedge funds and all the rich people do. That's just my personal opinion. As far as Bitcoin goes, if you guys want to trade with me, we've got a link down below for Kraken. They've got a customer service hotline. Or if you want to get liquidated and I make more money on the ref fees, we've got Femex down below. Not your keys, not your coins. And also, be careful with your trades. Be really careful. Don't give any of your Bitcoin back to the market. But what we're seeing right now happening with the markets, we're seeing Bitcoin drop below $111,000. And these are my key areas of support and resistance. The market we've done pretty good with these areas over here. So we finally broke down below $111,000 and we really need to kind of reclaim. However, Bitcoin is looking a little bit bearish on the weekly chart. We take a look at the daily. We're also looking a little bit bearish, but we have support at 107 between about $105,000 over here. Okay. Now taking a look at the 4-hour chart, it's not looking great. Market CIPHER did print a local bottom, but it's still not looking too terribly great right now. As far as Ethereum goes, we've got an Ethereum story coming, so make sure you guys wait. But Ethereum is pumping, and this is actually nice to see. Ethereum green while Bitcoin is dumping, and this kind of tells you all that you need to know. And again, when Ethereum does well, sometimes altcoins do follow. Solana is doing well. XRP, green candle up here, rebound while Bitcoin is dropping. And we're getting ready to flip 297. Again, I got some XRP stories for you. Chainlink, popping off as well at about $24. ADA trying to get back above 86 cents. And HBAR is just doing its thing, just chilling between about 22 and 25 cents. Am I concerned about the markets right now? No. One thing I will say, Bitcoin dominance is dropping again, which is good. So when we have Bitcoin dominance drop, oh, it's too short. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it had to be somebody. It had to be one of them. I love too short too. But so when Bitcoin dominance drops, generally you see altcoins move upwards, which we're seeing now. So at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of market manipulation there. And again, I'm not crying about it. I don't care. My bags are packed. I am ready. I'm ready for us to pump. I'm ready for us to dump. Why? Because I've been here and I'm acting like I've been here. I know how to take accountability for my actions. I know how to manage my portfolio. And I also know that, hey, if I make a mistake, I'm just going to do a little bit better next time. And I'm going to mark it down in my trading and investing journal. And I highly recommend that you guys all do the same. It's important to have your own trading and investing plan and make moon bags and practice risk management. Do what works for you. And I support you on that. If you've self-educated yourself, I support you on that. Now, let's keep it going. It's going to be moon time. I do have just stick with me, please. Just stick with me. All right. So we talked about the Lisa Cook thing, why the market's dropping, especially Bitcoin. But this story popped off with the SEC. Yesterday, SEC postpones its decision on the Wisdom Tree Spot ETF. I think there's 9 or 10 of these that they've postponed. But basically, they just moved it to October 24th. They delayed the decision to October 24th, but we've already anticipated that we're going to get a lot of these crypto spot ETFs approved in October, Q4 of 2025. The delay follows 6 asset managers submitting amended S1 filings for XRP ETFs. You want to know why? Do you want to know why the SEC delayed this? Because they need a little bit more time because they're going to go back and forth with these issuers. And you know what? I think that we might actually get the XRP spot ETF to become the first crypto ETF outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum at this time. At this time. That could change, but hey, we're here. We're here. All right. So this is from Coin Bureau, but rumors say that Ripple and a Swiss bank and a U.S. blockchain firm are planning a network of merging ID compliance tokenized assets with XRP as a bridge. JP Morgan calls digital ID the foundation of Web3. This is alleged, okay? 100% alleged over here. Is this true? I have no idea. Coin Bureau posted it, so I wanted to show you guys. Is it true? I have no idea. But if you go on Ripple's page on X, and just like Brad Garlinghouse and David and all of them, they've got really cool stuff about the XRP Gemini credit card, which is really cool. And all that it is you get, just like with your Costco credit card, you get passive rewards for using it, but it's an XRP, which is really cool. So if you're somebody who likes the dollar cost average or do whatever, do it. Why not? So that's a little bit of a rumor, but next story with crypto.com. So those of you that are holding Crow or use crypto.com, which I got a ref link on my website somewhere over there. But this is the story here. This is a really long thread from Chris, the CEO. And one of the things I will say about crypto.com, they have always had wonderful customer service. Absolutely wonderful customer service. I've always respected them for that. Always. But they are partnering with Trump Media. So Trump Media, Crypto.com, and Yorksville Acquisition formed a new entity called Trump Media Group, Crow Strategy, in a $6.42 billion deal. Entity is structured as a digital asset treasury company focusing on long-term Crow accumulation. So Crow is getting a digital asset treasury it's being added to a treasury company. And it's active management, not just holding. So that means they're going to be in and out of the markets. It was funded by $1 billion in Crow token, $420 million in cash and warrants, plus $5 billion credit line from Yorkville. Trump Media acquired $105 million worth of Crow for its balance sheet. Crypto.com acquired $50 million of Trump Media stock, DJT. And again, you can't participate in this stuff unless you're a accredited investor. The ticker is CRO, and it's also not financial advice. The strategy is designed to create a new flywheel effect, raise funds, buy Crow, increase price, and raise more funds. Not financial advice. We'll become the world's largest holder with about 19% of the supply. Entity will operate a validator node on Cronos to participate in network governance and earn staking rewards, which will be reinvested to grow Crow holdings. A new entity to trade NASDAQ under the ticker MCGA, Make Crow Great Again. Great branding over there. Crow will become the utility token for True Social. Interesting. So we're going to be getting utility tokens for different social media platforms now. X will follow suit. Meta will follow suit. Just don't know when. Trump Media plans to introduce reward system on its True Social and Truth Plus platforms using Crypto.com's digital wallet infrastructure. Wonderful news. Wonderful news. And now we're on the topic of treasury strategies. One thing before we get into the next story that I do need to remind you, okay? I have said on this channel for the last year, pay attention to companies that will get crypto spot ETFs. Then I want you to pay attention to NASDAQ listed companies that are acquiring and creating digital asset treasury strategies. I want you to focus on those. I want you to put those on your watch list, okay? Those are going to be the ones that are going to do incredibly well, in my personal opinion. Even though a lot of these crypto spot ETFs have not been approved yet, if you've noticed, a lot of the crypto spot ETFs that have been applied upon, or the companies that have applied, they are being added to treasuries. The stuff that's made in America. And we talked about, I want to say it was I think it was Canary Capital, that they're going to do a basket index of made in America crypto projects for a spot ETF. I want to say it was them. It happened yesterday. I forgot though. But again, pay attention to those. Those are probably going to be the easiest trade. And I know most of you guys don't trade, and that's not a bad thing. That's not a slam at all. It is trading is hard. It is hard. I used to do it. I don't do it as much because it's hard. But pay attention to those projects. Again, another treasury strategy, and this one's a big one. B strategy to launch $1 billion in U.S. listed BNB treasury company with Yizzy Lab support. This is CZ's company over here. Let's go ahead and read this. B strategy, led by ex-Bitmain execs, is launching a $1 billion BNB treasury company. Will be U.S. listed, strategic backing from Yizzy Labs, and the goal is to become the Berkshire Hathaway of the BNB ecosystem. They won't let BNB go to zero. And that's another one I have in my portfolio. No, it's not made in America. But again, something you probably want to pay attention to. Now let's talk about Ethereum a little bit. And I've got some more information about the crypto spot ETFs. From Cointelegraph, Ethereum's MVRV ratio shows now 2.15, showing most holders are up more than 2% on average, a level that often leads to volatility and profit taking. That's fine. That's fine. You want to know why I don't care? We've got somebody like Thomas Lee, Mr. Tom Lee. I love that he says not the drummer because I'm the biggest Motley Crue fan ever. Love this. But he says, Mark is at it again, calling ETH bottom to happen in the next few hours. So they're allegedly saying that this is technical analysis, not my technical analysis, but I love that he posted it. But basically, they're calling for the Ethereum bottom, saying that Mark Newton predicted the Ethereum bottom near 4,300 within 12 hours. He sees upsides toward 5,100 to 5,400. I'm calling for 10,000 minimum this cycle, minimum. Bullish outlook remains valid just as long as ETH stays above 4,067, and we should see that happen just as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump below $100,000. If we do, we're going to expect a lot of volatility. There's that. Now, this story over here. This is from Ryan Adams. He's from the Bankless people, whatever. But basically, he says, unprecedented, Tom Lee has acquired almost 10 billion of Ethereum over the past 50 days, which is over 1.7 million Ethereum, 1.4% of all ETH supply. If Tom gets to his 5% target and ETH goes above $12,000, Bitmine would be larger than MicroStrategy, which is pretty awesome. So again, the fact that a lot of these people have so much money in, I'm not betting against it. And that's why I think Ethereum will go to at least $10,000 a cycle. Also, too, this just came in. Spot Ethereum ETFs post 444 million in daily inflows, outpacing Bitcoin ETFs. What does this mean? Basically, traditional finance. Oh, shout out to Martin. Thank you so much for becoming an O Army member. I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Did I watch Dirt on Netflix? I did watch Dirt on Netflix. I read the book multiple times, and I've done some things in my life. I used to live in Hollywood. I actually I got invited to their apartment that's like right above the rainbow where they used to live. And then one of the other apartments they used to live in with all the whatever. That was a long story. I can't tell the story on stream. And some other stuff too. Anyways, but back to the Ethereum inflows, okay? Traditional finance said, we want to participate in crypto. We want to get into crypto. So this is exactly what they're doing. We're going to talk about the chainlink ETF. I got you, babies. All you got to do is just watch a stream. I'm literally covering everything for you because that's what we do. And I know there's a lot of new people watching today. Just so you know, I posted a second media piece about really important crypto news around 2 p.m. PT. It's about 2 to 5 minutes. And then at 6 p.m. PT, I do a complete news wrap up. It comes as a YouTube short. It's literally everything we covered on the show, plus other couple important pieces of information that you need. 2 minutes. So make sure you watch it to get all your news. Okay. Now, Ethereum ETFs, why does this matter that we're seeing inflows, even though we saw outflows earlier last week? People took profit and they bought that dip and they're going back in. And the reason why we're seeing a lot more people buy the Ethereum dip and add to these ETFs is because there's a lot more upside for them, not with Bitcoin right now. Pay attention to what traditional finance is doing. Is Ethereum going to be fine this cycle? I think so. Will Ethereum sustain next cycle? I have no idea, which is why I'm going to be selling majority of my Ethereum that I've been holding sub $300 since 2017. Now, since we're on the topic of Chainlink and ETFs, Bitwise filed for a spot Chainlink ETF and latest push for single token crypto funds, which is wonderful. We love that. In addition, I was talking to Mixing earlier today, and I forgot what the number was, Mixing, but I think we counted about 80 crypto spot ETFs. I think it was 80. Yeah, this one right here. Thank you. Oh, he always reads my mind. This is from my buddy James. We love James. He's an ETF analyst. And it comes from, in case you missed this one, like me, Bitwise filed for a Chainlink ETF. Eric, who's another ETF analyst I like a lot, says, how many outstanding crypto filings do we have now? Has to be well over 100 at this point. James says we're at 80. Hold up, okay? Hold up a little bit. Hold up. Okay. I want to do some math for you. I'm not good at math, so bear with me. It has been stated by the ETF experts. I'm not one. I'm just an idiot on the internet. It's been stated by the ETF experts that each individual crypto spot ETF, once gets approved, will bring in approximately $8 billion worth of volume per ETF. So he says 80, and I'm going to do my little math over 80 times 8 billion would be about what, 640 what? It's 640. I just did 80 times 8. That's 640. What is that? 640 billion? I don't know. A lot of money coming into the crypto markets. And that's just with the 80 ETFs we have. And once we get one ETF, crypto spot ETF approved, we will get multiple, okay? Multiple. So do you understand? So part of the issue why we're not seeing number go up with a lot of, especially a lot of the bigger cryptos, like the top 100, okay? Liquidity, buyers are tired. The X is a big echo chamber. We got people on TikTok that want to get in. We got people on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube that want to get in. People that are already in. Buyers are exhausted. We're tired of buying. I literally reading in the comments how tired you guys are. But in order, even for XRP, yeah, it's the second most popular crypto. People love it. I love it. Great, fine, fantastic. But you guys understand when you look at these market caps of 2.1 trillion, 540 billion, those types of things like that, we need more liquidity. Number goes up. Number goes up when you add liquidity. So if we get every single one of these 80 spot ETFs approved, what do you think is going to happen? And that's why my thesis, and it has been, that we are going to see altcoin season once these crypto spot ETFs approved. And we're hoping to get some of them approved in quarter 4, 2025, October. So that's why I'm patient. That's why this volatility with crypto doesn't bother me. I've been here. Sorry, my bra is showing. I should wear a black bra. Forgot. It happens. It's been a busy day. My pipe, it's got a little hole in it. It's going pss, pss. Anyways, let's get more news. Let's get into it. More news. Almost done, but we got more. All right. Shout out to RWAs from Swarm Markets. Big news from RWAs and DeFi. Hedera Foundation, Swarm Markets. They officially launched stocks on chain. Apple, Tesla, MicroStrategy. EU prospectus, regulatory compliant, available to both retail and institutional investors. And again, we like projects that focus on DeFi, RWAs, and AI. That's exactly what's happening. And because and again, this is happening in the EU. It's not necessarily, it is happening in America. It is, but it's not. We're getting there, and we're also getting there in the EU. It's still very, very early, but when you tokenize a crypto or a stock or anything like that, not only are you adding more liquidity because people can trade 24/7, 365, but a lot of these stocks can be used in DeFi for collateral lending and treasury strategies. And it's just bullish for the market long term. And you're going to see everything in traditional finance eventually be tokenized, and they're going to be fighting to see which chain they want to use. Hedera is a really, really great chain for that. Also, too, more Hedera news, HBAR news. Hedera announced Asset Tokenization Studio, ATS, and it won a 2025 Tech Forward Award for DeFi and crypto innovation. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Also, the SEC Crypto Task Force met with Kraken to discuss tokenization. Why are we talking about this? I know this is a boring story. It's not really fun, but why are we talking about it? We are talking about it because tokenization is not going anywhere, okay? The SEC, the reason why the SEC has not approved a lot of these crypto spot ETFs yet, and really just America's a little bit slow, is because we've had so much negative connotation around crypto in general. So the SEC is catching up. So they're meeting with people like Kraken and Crypto.com and Ripple and all these different people to figure out, what do we need to do? How do we get these crypto spot ETFs approved? How do we bring tokenization in? That's what they're doing. This is a solid foundation. This is absolutely wonderful. So again, I'm feeling confident that we are going to get crypto spot ETF. And I want to play this for you. This is from Paul Atkins, who is the chair of the SEC, who replaced Gary Gensler. But could you believe that the SEC is literally posting about what is a super app? Paul Atkins explains the idea of how it would benefit investors. Check it out. But he's talking about crypto. I'm not even going to play it for you. But again, we have somebody just out here talking about how important this is. Actually, I'm going to play it for you. I want to play it. It's only 40 seconds.
A key priority of my chairmanship is to allow market participants to innovate with super apps.
You know, I can't play it because it's got music, so I'm just going to read it to you. Sorry, guys, ADHD. So last month, he said SEC will support a super app model for financial services. Firms can offer crypto and traditional assets under one roof, essentially bringing crypto and TradFi together via tokenization. That's what's going to happen. That's what I've been telling you on this channel. Pushes for a single federal license instead of 50 plus state approvals. Because remember, we've got a federal license that's like a blanket, and then we've got the state licenses, okay? Which are, I get it, each state's got to do its thing, but we're talking about financial services. Shouldn't everyone just have equal access? And it's going to make it easier to get things done when crypto and traditional finance. Broker-dealers can integrate staking, lending, and token trading, reduces regulatory fragmentation and duplication, encourages competition between platforms and services. This is what we like. This is how we create jobs in America, and we just try to fix the economy. Framework to allow SEC and CFTC regulated products to coexist, and aims to keep innovation and liquidity in U.S. markets. Wow. 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 Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Let's keep jobs in America. Let's keep innovation in America. Let's keep this train on rolling. That Johnny Brunette song, Train Keeps It Rolling All Night Long. I love that song from him. Wonderful. But anyways, we're going to drink our chicken bone broth with our turmeric and lemon ginger tea because health is wealth. I dropped it in there. Loving the Elevator. Oh no, Aerosmith say that song too. They covered it, John. Anyways, I gotta get going because I got a lot of content for you guys, and I gotta go to Costco today. You guys know I love to be in Costco all day long. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna have volatility because of the Federal Reserve and their inability to lower interest rates and all the drama that's happening. But long term, it's gonna be okay. So if you shout out to Mark, if you can't deal with the volatility, contact my financial advisor, Dame. Their link is down below. Contact them. They'll manage your crypto portfolios for you. But me, I'm chilling. I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the volatility. It's fun because I get to accumulate more if I want to. Anyways, with that being said, sending you all love and light. I got a video for you at 2 p.m. PT and check back at 6 p.m. ET. And then I will. Thank you. I do okay with my complexion. I got good genetics. Or other than that, I'll see you at 10:30 a.m. PT tomorrow. Bye, babies. Bye, my love.